Hello, this is OverlordBou, back with another ship review video, and today we'll be looking at the new Tier 9 Pan-European destroyer, the Velos. Now, the Velos will be released as part of our own Portal campaign, starting on October 21st, similar to the re-release of the USS Black. Now, after her event has concluded, she'll return early next year, and this time permanently on sale for doubloons. Now, I'll be going over my recommended captain build, module setup, followed by the ship stats, and finally, I'll give my thoughts about her performance overall. Now, first up, we're going to be going over the captain build and upgrades, which will be shown on the top right. It's pretty much a typical DD build, building into guns and having RPF to build to fend off other DDs if it comes to that, or just knowing where they're at so you can try to launch torpedoes at them and try to see if you get yourself a lucky strike. Now let's talk about the ship stats, starting with her armor and survivability. Now for the armor, will be shown on the top right. It has a 19mm bow/stern with a 13mm superstructure with a 17,100 HP pool. It has the same hull as the Tier 9 Fletcher. Now the Velos' durability is mediocre for her tier. Though she presents a small target, she can quickly go down after a few hits, like other Fletchers. Velos relies on her maneuverability to survive enemy attacks. Now next up is her main guns. Now for the main armament, you get 4 single 127mm/38 guns with a 12.1 kilometer range, with a 2.5 second base reload and a 5.3 second 180 degree turret traverse. It can fire 34 degrees off of the bow and 30 degrees off of the stern. Now for the HE shell damage, you do 1800 damage with a 21mm HE pen, 5% fire chance, and 173k HE DPM. Now the AP shell damage is 2100 with an 8mm overmatch and a 45 through 60 degree ricochet angle and a 202k AP DPM. Now the dispersion will be shown on the top right while I talk about the gun's characteristics. Now the Velos is the most gunboat-like version of the Fletcher variants, sporting the highest DPM among them. Though she also compares variably to many other Tier 9 DDs, only losing out to the top DDs like Kitakaze or Friesland/Groningen. Now, with the removal of the middle gun, Velos also boosts superior firing angles and can angle comfortably in almost every engagement, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, she still retains the drawback of the United States Navy floaty shells and is nearly impossible to hit past 8 kilometers on cruisers and DDs. Always get as close so you can fire before you can. So you can always get in close before you start opening a fire. Now for torpedoes, you get 1 quint launcher with 533mm torpedoes that do 19,033 damage with a 10.5 kilometer range, a 66 knot speed, and a 60-second reload. Now you do get the same torpedoes as Fletcher, but 1 less rack. It does use a super narrow spread similar to other EU DDs. Now this is the same excellent torpedoes found on the Fletcher. Though she carries only 1 torpedo rack, Velos gets faster reload and a tighter spread option, similar to other EU DDs. Now the guns will be your primary source of damage, but Velos' torps can prove surprisingly deadly in the right situations. Now next up is her anti-air defense. Now for the flak, you get 2 inner plus 1 outer, with the long-range DPS being 5.8 kilometers. And being the damage of 60 DPS, and the mid being at 4 kilometers with 126 DPS. Now, as typical for a DD, Velos' anti-air is woefully inadequate to fend off anti-air attacks. Not even the DFA consumable can save her anti-air from mediocrity. Now, you got to use your smokes and maneuverability to dodge CV strikes. Now, the DFA is there only to gatekeep weaker carrier players. Now, as for her anti-sub capabilities, for the depth charges, she has a maximum of 2 charges. Number of depth charges per attack is 12, with 5,100 damage per depth charge. Now, the reload time is 40 seconds, and the range is launched from behind the ship. Now, the Velos has very powerful depth charges, capable of killing subs in 1 pass. However, she is forced to drive over enemy subs, potentially opening up to a shotgun attack from experienced sub-captains. Now let's cover her maneuverability. For the maneuverability, you have a 38 knot max speed with a 620 meter turning radius and a 3.9-second rudder shift. Now, Velos is a nimble DD thanks to her high top speed and tight turning radius. Though she doesn't match her sister's turning ability, Velos' superior speed is sufficient compensation. She can dance around enemy attacks when played correctly. Now, up next is her Concealment. Now, for the surface base detect, you have a 7.1 kilometers, and the aerial detect is 3.4 kilometers. Now, for the surface detection best, it's 5.8 kilometers, and the best aerial is 2.7 kilometers. Now, her Concealment is quite good, besting all but a few Japanese and Royal Navy DDs. This synergizes well with her good close-range firepower. Velos can ambush almost every DD, smashing them before they can escape. Now, finally, here is the consumable loadout for the Velos. Now, for the consumables, you get a standard DD damage control party with a 5-second immunity period and a 40-second reload time. For the US smoke generator, you get a late time of 30 seconds, a duration of 127 seconds, 3 charges base, 4 with superintendent, and 160-second reload time. Now, for the standard DD engine boost, you get 3 base charges, 4 with superintendent, plus 8% max speed with improved acceleration, 120-second active time, and 120-second reload time. Now, with the standard defensive AA, you get 4 base charges, 5 with superintendent, plus 50% continuous damage, plus 300% flak damage, which is pretty standard, with a 40-second active time and an 80-second reload time. Other than DFA in her own slot, Velos carries the standard consumable loadout for US destroyers. Now let's move on to talking about her overall performance. Now, my overall impressions of the Velos is I feel like she's a skill level is about low to mid, with the skill ceiling being about a middle, like a medium. Now, the Velos is a Fletcher class destroyer transferred to the Greek Navy in 1959. Today is currently preserved as a museum ship docked in Athens. In-game, Velos' playstyle is similar to other Fletcher class DDs, particularly the Tier 8 Kid. She excels at close-range fights, decimating most other DDs under 7 kilometers. Now, against DDs who can outgun her, Velos' superior concealment lets her spot for her allies and even the fight. Now, once the DDs are dead, Velos and her allies can farm in safety thanks to her long smoke duration. Now, make sure to keep spotting for your allies, though. Don't be sitting in the smoke while your allies are trying to farm. Now, definitely don't be afraid to gun in open water. Velos is very maneuverable with speed boost active, so as long as you are only fighting 1 to 2 BBs, you can dodge all their shells while farming them in return. Now, overall, Velos is a very capable all-around DD. Players familiar with the US DD line will have little trouble adapting to the Velos' playstyle. Now, for randoms, I say she's pretty good. The Velos' ability to ambush other DDs and good DPM makes her a very capable ship. Essentially a Fletcher side grade, which is a good thing. Now, for ranked, I say is above average to good, a good all-around DD, but loses out to Kitakazes and Friesland/Gronigans for the top spot. Now, for clan battles, if it's tier 9, it is outclassed by Fletcher. Velos isn't a bad DD in CBs, but her role is already fulfilled by Tech Tree tier 9 Fletcher, and Fletcher herself is the budget support DD option, only used if the team doesn't have the black, which is superior tier 9 DD for the Fletcher classes. Now, that is going to be the end of the video. Now, I will let you guys watch this whole replay, so you guys can watch the whole duration of it. Again, the ship will be releasing on its own portal campaign starting on October 21st, similar to how the re-release of the USS Black was. So after that, in early next year, you'll be able to get it for doubloons if you're interested. They haven't told us a price yet for the doubloons, but it's going to be around what normally a tier 9 ship costs. So I don't have that on top of my head, but we can kind of guess. Tier 9 is normally like 19,000, I think, so maybe around there. It's probably going to be less since it's a DD, but who knows? We'll just see whenever it gets released then. But yep, that is going to be it. If you guys have any questions or concerns, definitely in the comments down below. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the replay in the video whenever you guys are done watching. But this is going to be it. I definitely enjoyed playing the Velos. It was a very fun ship. This was one of my first matches in the ship, and it felt very natural to me, like the Fletcher was. And it felt like it was a lot of fun to play. Definitely enjoyed it for sure. Um,
Attention. Reporting your
Definitely very
target's
comfortable.
position.
I felt really comfortable playing this ship. It also comes with a very cool camo as well. But yep, that is going to be it. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you all for your support as always. Definitely leave a comment down below. I'll talk to you guys later.
You destroyed an enemy battleship. Enemy destroyer detected. Engine boost activated. You're the last one standing. Enemy destroyer sighted. Main turret critically damaged.